One of the things that I really love about One Rental at a Time is we bring on experts from across the country who have experiences that I simply don't have. My story is buying out of area, which meant we have had property managers since day one house. We're going to talk to Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth, who's doing self management, and she has created a set of criteria to get A+ tenants. I'm just going to sit back and listen. And Casey, thank you for sharing.
Well, thanks for having me on. I will say, my key phrase is no tenant is better than a bad tenant. And I mean that. I would let a house sit vacant for a year until I found somebody qualified. It's just not worth it. I've had my share of bad experiences with tenants. And matter of fact, all of my big real estate mistakes have come from tenant choices, not from
Mm,
my deal or not doing the right rehab or over underestimating. No, no, no. It's been from tenants. It's been from people. So there's only two people that take care of your property. That's it. Either you and your property manager and your tenant.
mm,
That's it. So you guys are partners. If you're managing your property yourself or not, there are only two people that are taking care of it. The person who lives there freaking every single day, and then whoever is in charge of them. So who you pick is of the utmost importance. To me, who you pick to live in your house is more important than getting a good deal. Because
mm.
you could have gotten the best deal in the world on your property. But if you put in a bad tenant and they trash your house and they make it living hell for you, that great deal you got would be meaningless, means nothing. Because who's taking care of your asset? If they're not taking care of it, you're in trouble. So with all my tenant mistakes that I've made, I have crafted a set of qualifications that has now helped me get A+ tenants. These tenants, they pay rent on time, they pay rent early in some cases, they cause no problems, they have nice furniture, they treat their property better than I treat my own house. So here's what I do. First of all, I realize some of these criteria aren't going to work in every type of neighborhood, in every, class of neighborhood, which is another reason why I now only buy in B neighborhoods. I'm not really into the C-class neighborhoods anymore and those types of tenants. Some of those tenants are great, the ones that I have, but I'm moving away from that into quality properties with good tenants that take care of my house. So here's the qualifications. First of all, credit score. Credit score is very important because it tells that they can pay their bills on time. It tells that when times are tough, they figure shit out. Okay.
Mhm.
So in my B neighborhoods, I'll do 680 and up. I
Okay.
know that that's crazy because there's a lot of good people, right? At 650, 620, and a lot of property management companies will do 575 or 600 as their minimum credit score,
Oof.
and 620. So 620 is good. I'm happy with 620 and up usually too, as long as other things are fine. But really, 680 and up is going to give you the best type of tenant.
Okay.
After
680.
that, the one that is non-negotiable is they have to make enough money. They have to make 3 times the rent. Have to, not 2.8 times the rent, 3 times the rent at least. Gross income.
Mhm.
And this is because you don't want your tenants to struggle. You want them living in your house to be stress-free. You don't want them to have to think every month, how are we going to pay rent? How are we going to pay rent? No, you don't want that. You want it to be easy for them, right? And just like mortgage companies want you to make, your debt to income ratio be, 35%, 30% or less, right? Because before you buy a house, it's like 1/3 your income goes towards your rent. Really, that should be it. If you're paying half your income towards your rent, you're struggling. You are one paycheck away, one broken leg away, one car trouble away, your kid's sick for a week and you're out of work away from not being able to pay rent. And a lot of times, Christmas presents take priority over paying rent. I understand that, but you don't want your tenants having to choose. So they have to make enough money. The more money they make, the better. When I have tenants that make like 6 and 8 and 10 times the rent, I'm really happy about that. Now I know they'll be leaving soon to buy property, but guess what? They're going to leave my property squeaky clean and perfect when they leave. So I'm going to
Right.
have literally no rehab, hardly anything to do. Maybe some paint touch ups, filling some holes from where they put their TV on the wall. That's going to be about it. So
Yeah.
less money during tenant turnovers. Another one is no evictions ever. Now I know people don't like the word ever. I use the word ever for evictions. No thanks. That's just me. Nope. Um, Felonies and bankruptcies, 5 years. So no felonies and bankruptcies in the past 5 years, and absolutely no active bankruptcies.
Mm,
Because if they are actively in, there's an active bankruptcy going on, the judge can put a stay on their whatever record, and they don't have to pay you. They don't have to pay any what's it, debtor or whatever until everything is figured out. And a lot of people that have been in more than one bankruptcy kind of know this trick and may take
yeah,
advantage if they know.
for sure.
So they have to make enough money. They have to have good credit report, decent credit. Another one that's really important to me is their job history.
Mm,
I really care a lot about the job history. I want to know that they've been in their same job for 1 year straight. If you've got someone that's hopping job to job, 3 months here, 2 months here, a gap, a couple of months over here, a year here, da da da, they're not really reliable. They're not dependable. I'm trying to judge their character and how likely they are to pay rent. If you have a good credit score, you make enough money, and you've held your job for at least the same job for 1 year and at the same place, even for 2 years or more, oh my gosh, this person is reliable. They show up to work on time. They aren't going to get fired. They're going to pay their bills. Those criteria alone, and there's some other ones, those criteria alone will help ensure you get a good tenant.
yeah, and then the other thing you said right at the open is you are making a call to upgrade your properties, right? You used to shop, in your words, the C areas. Now you're being very determined on the B areas. Um, is that because tenants stay longer, less headaches? What kind of is driving that, you think?
You'll find that tenants, the C class properties, I found the tenants stay longer,
Oh, okay.
to be honest, than the B neighborhoods, because the B neighborhoods, they don't want to live, they don't want to be long-term tenants forever. They want to buy.
Oh, okay.
So they will save up their pennies and they'll go buy a property. I had someone put in their 30 days notice just on November 14th because they bought a house.
Oh,
It's
good for
like
them.
in these certain neighborhoods where you have high appreciating properties, high quality, you've got good college educated graduates with nice jobs and starting families. That first rental property that they probably get, that's just their stepping stone. They just
Got it.
got married, they're living together, and now they're going to go buy their first home. It's fine. I don't mind, because you know what I hate doing? I hate raising rent on my tenants. I
Mm,
really don't like to do that. But I love charging market rent when I get in for a new tenant. So I'll let tenants stay for, 4 years and not raise their rent. And then I'll do a rent increase if they're there longer, no matter what
mm,
class of property. But yeah, the B properties, they do move out sooner, I found, than the C class properties. Those people tend to stay longer, but they also do much more damage to your property. You're not going to get
mm,
as much rent appreciation. They're more like headaches, like they don't pay, their jobs aren't usually as stable. But I have some really good tenants in my C properties, and I've had some really bad ones. But changing the way that I screen these people and vet them has really made a world of a difference. And my lifestyle, not having to be on the phone or get more
mm,
gray hair
mm.
because tenants aren't paying, or what if they don't pay this month? There was a sketchy last month and they were late. I don't want tenants to have problems. I want them to be more than able to pay rent without problem.
So let me see if I have the list right. 680 credit score, 3x rent gross income. 3x gross income is 3x rent. No evictions ever. No active bankruptcies, no bankruptcies or felonies in the last 5 years, and a stable job history for the last 12 months. Do I have the list correct?
Yes. And one thing I will ask them is, how much are you paying for your current rent?
Hmm.
Because let's say my place is going to be $1,500, but the last place they're at's been $950. That's
Okay.
a huge jump for them to pay in rent. Now, if they're like, oh, my last place is, $1,425 and your place is $1,550, not a huge jump. They're upgrading, they're maybe getting a better property for that. But someone that's going to come from several $100s a month less, it's going to have a bit of an adjustment period and might find that it's something they actually can't do after all. And you don't want to find out later. So I asked, oh, how much are you paying at your current place? Because if they're paying too low and they want to add $1,000 a month to their rent bill, that sounds like kind of scary to me.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so you put out a lot of amazing stuff daily. Where can people find you?
People can find me every single day on Instagram at Brick by Brick Wealth, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Brick by BR Wealth, and you can find me on our website, brickbybrickwealth.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.